Hello, I'm Jared Taylor with American Renaissance. The internet is making my videos really hard to find, so if you like it, please send the link to a lot of your friends. Kyle Rittenhouse has been found not guilty on all counts, and the lefties are insane with rage. Many are convinced that the case was about race and nothing else, and that the acquittal is proof of white supremacy. Here's a 30-second summary of what actually happened. After a white policeman in Kenosha, Wisconsin shot a black criminal in what was later found to be justified use of force, rioters and arsonists went to work. Police held back, and this is all that was left of a prisons department building. Here is a used car dealer, Car Source, after arsonists torched it. Kyle Rittenhouse, who has close ties to the city, was outraged. On the third day of the riots, he was asked to protect the Car Source lot, together with several other armed men. He also took a first aid kit and treated several people who were injured. The rioters, who had had such fun looting and burning, were furious when men with rifles showed up, putting out fires, spoiling their fun. The first man Rittenhouse killed, Joseph Rosenbaum, he's in the red shirt, had been just released from a mental hospital after a suicide attempt. Before that, he had been sentenced to 12 years in prison for raping boys. He was shouting the N-word at white people, threatened to kill Rittenhouse, chased him until he cornered him, and tried to take away his rifle. Rittenhouse was afraid Rosenbaum would kill him and others if he got the rifle. He fired 4 rounds. The other 2 men he shot were clearly attacking him. Here he is in the middle, on his back, after Anthony Huber, right next to him, had smashed him in the neck with a skateboard. Coming up on the right is Gage Grosskreutz with a pistol in his hand. And he kept coming. This is the moment Rittenhouse fired. You can see the bullet's impact on Grosskreutz's right arm, and you can see the gun in his hand, pointing straight at Rittenhouse. Rittenhouse believed it was kill or be killed, and the jury believed him. Huber had 6 convictions for domestic abuse, as well as charges for use of a dangerous weapon and false imprisonment. Grosskreutz had many arrests for drunk driving, burglary, and going armed while drunk. Before the trial even began, it was clear that this was a case of self-defense. However, race-crazed lefties decided it was all about white supremacy. How is it white supremacy when a white man shoots 3 other white men? Because the mob was rioting and burning cars and buildings in the name of Black lives. Nicole Hannah-Jones, who put together the 1619 Project for the New York Times, explained, "In this country, you can even kill white people and get away with it if those white people are fighting for Black lives." Does she really believe that every moment during the trial, the jury sat there thinking, those people Rittenhouse shot were speaking up for Black dignity, so they deserved to be gunned down just like NIGGERS? I bet there's not one person in America who thinks that. But Nicole Hannah-Jones is a college professor and a Pulitzer Prize winner, so I guess she's got us white people all figured out. Even before the verdict, Paul Butler, who teaches at Georgetown Law School, told Joy Reid of MSNBC that the proceedings were white privilege on steroids. Elie Mystal is a graduate of Harvard and Harvard Law School. He predicted that Rittenhouse would be acquitted because we do not live in a just world, we live in a white one. Because he murdered while white, he will probably walk free, he wrote. Well, sure enough, after the acquittal, he wrote, "This system is designed to free people like Rittenhouse, white vigilantes who kill to maintain the best interests of whiteness." In other words, when Rittenhouse shot a white man who was pointing a pistol at his head, he was defending white interests. Black Congresswoman Cori Bush has got us pegged too. The judge, the jury, the defendant, It's white supremacy in action. She says she's heartbroken. MSNBC tells us Kyle Rittenhouse trial was designed to protect white conservatives who kill. Really? Who designed it that way? And naturally, white supremacist militias are planning to have designated Kyle Rittenhouses that commit massacres of race traitors in Antifa and BLM. I guess these black people have reliable spies in those white supremacist militias you've never heard of. CNN had a big article. There's nothing more frightening in America today than an angry white man. The author complained that some white men feel as if they can rule and brutalize without consequence. Well, that's a picture of the Capitol rioters, by the way. They have been rounded up and prosecuted in the biggest, most relentless, and expensive manhunt in U.S. history. But we think we can rule and brutalize. Of course, Hollywood jumped on the bad white people bandwagon. Mia Farrow tweeted, "So anyone can come to a protest, just march down the middle of the street with a massive gun and kill people? Guess this comes with white privilege." Another actress, Yvette Brown, tweeted, "The good news is that white men and boys can still kill whenever they want and do no jail time. Isn't this fun?" Actor Mark Ruffalo wrote, "We come together to mourn the lost lives to the same racist system that devalues black lives and devalued the lives of Anthony and Jojo." Anthony is Huber, the compulsive woman beater, and Jojo is Rosenbaum, the child rapist. Actor Josh Gad, "Vigilantes can just go and kill people protesting issues like racial equality whenever they want." Director Ava DuVernay passed along this message: "Armed civilians can show up in any town, incite violence, and then use the danger they have created to justify shooting people in the street." Hollywood is full of conformist ignoramuses, but you might expect some people to know better. Keith Olbermann is supposed to be a professional newsman. His reaction to the verdict? Fuck this murderer. But this is even more worrying. Congressman Gerald Nadler says, "Justice cannot tolerate armed persons crossing state lines looking for trouble while people engage in First Amendment protected protest. He doesn't care if millions of illegals cross our borders, but he's worried that Rittenhouse crossed a state line. And he thinks arsonists and rioters were just exercising First Amendment rights. This guy's a lawyer, and he runs the House Judiciary Committee. Now he wants the DOJ to figure out some way to prosecute Rittenhouse again." Kamala Harris was a bit more restrained. "I've spent majority of my career working to make our criminal justice system more equitable. It's clear there's still a lot more work to do." More work? What's that? Abolish the right to self-defense? Or abolish it only for white men? So, what do ordinary Americans think of this verdict? This is a stitched-together meme, but art imitates life, you know.
Courts, we the jury find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty.
I'll end with a request to all of you media people and politicians who have been insulting and reviling white people in this case. Keep it up. You have no idea how much you're advancing the work of people like me. You are waking up hundreds, thousands, millions of white people. They will submit to your hatred and contempt for only so long. Thanks to you, things are going to change. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to this video channel. Also, you might give this video a thumbs up. I invite you to visit amren.com at amren.com. You'll find more videos, podcasts, discussions, a lot of things that I think will interest you. But again, Thank you so much for watching.